Welcome to my channel, Miel Hebraica, Hebrew honey, and today I'm looking at the letter Kaf, or it's verse 11, which is halfway now through the alphabet. So, Kaf, the palm of the hand, that's what it literally means. So this is one that's also has very clear derivation from its very ancient roots, and so it's a beautiful letter, and it's used in a beautiful way. In there are a couple root ways it can be used. In what we have here in Psalm 145, verse 11, it's kabod, which means strength, power, weight, honor, glory, and there's numerous ways of translating it, but we'll look for the most appropriate translation of the kaf or the kabod. Kabod, malkutecha, yomru. Geburotcha yedaberu. Both of these are very parallel here. These are the verbs in the sequence here. We've had a couple of verses now without verbs. Now we all of a sudden do have some good verbs. So these are third person plurals. And they say, and they say again. These are speak and to tell. Aleph mem resh is to speak, deber. This is often in the piel. So this is often pronounced, usually pronounced with Miel, but here it is. Well, it's halfway through anyway, the accenting. So kabod is glory. Also, in any definition of a word, we'll have the root, the material definition. In other words, when you see something, what does it really mean as a word, as a root? It's weight, okay? The weight. But then it's also, we see it in Exodus 20, the honor. So the honor, and we see it here, it's glory. So it is all those things. And in Hebrew, you would be thinking of all those three aspects of kavod. But here it is glory. It's the best way to translate it here. Kavod, malkutecha. Yomru, they speak, they tell it out. Getting to the root meaning of the kaf, it's the way we write it right now. This is Dead Sea Scrolls, Isaiah scroll. That's what the kaf would be written, a little bit longer than just a simple square kaf. And getting back to pre-exilic, these are inscriptions and seals and so forth. You'll see just one bar like this, and then the hand. Now, the pre-exilic quite often is quite a bit more similar to the final ending of certain letters. So this is what we have here. We have kaf and we have kaf. See, this is the final ending. These are final endings of the kaf, and the final ending of the kaf drops straight down into one single line like that. And over here we see the same thing. And this then is what we see here in the pre-exilic form. And so the pre-exilic forms of the letters quite often are quite a bit more similar to the final forms that we see in the post-exilic after Babylon. They follow the Aramaic practice of trying to squeeze everything into a box. Prior to that, this letter escaped the box. You get the longer staff on the end here, and we have the fingers of a hand. And this isn't just simply representing the fingers of the hand, this is representing the palm of the hand. So here's the palm right in here. And when we get back to the ancient Proto-Sinaitic version of the letter, we see the palm of the hand very clearly right here. That's the part of the hand that's represented here. Something that holds something up, something that sustains something, something that carries something. Something that cares for something as well. So it has that kind of symbolism. It still has that when Proverbs 31, the virtuous woman, a kafa, that's her hand sustains the poor. In other words, and that's an acrostic psalm, and in that acrostic, the kaf is used at the start of that particular verse, which speaks about the hand that sustains or protects. So kaf. Kavod, malkutecha. This is the root here. We'll start with the base root. Mem Lamed Kaf, the same Kaf is here, although this is a soft one, Hu. So Malchu Teha. Okay? So Melech, of course, is king. And then when you take the king, want to make a queen out of it, Melcha, just put a feminine ending on a Melech. But when you want to make a kingdom of it, you put a tau at the end, put a surik in the middle here. You got Malkut. Okay? That is then kingdom, kingship, kingdom. Malkutecha, yours, single suffix to second person singular, pronoun suffix here at the end of this one. Same thing over here. So these are very much in parallel. These are very much in parallel. See a lot of parallelism here, this particular verse. So Malkutecha, your kingdom, your strength. Okay, Giborotcha, Giborotcha, Giborotcha. So your strength. So what you have here is both of these end in comets, and that second person masculine singular ending of your kingdom, your strength. They speak of it, and they speak of it. They tell the glory of your kingdom, and they speak of your strength. Because of the kabod, strength, glory, honor, power, and all those good things, all included in the kabod. When Ichabod, when they tried to apply the name Ichabod to this child, the glory had left and fled. Okay? The glory had gone. Okay, Ichabod. Now here is this kaf right here, the palm of the hand, represents what's happening with the Proto-Semitic forms and the Proto-Semitic meanings of it, the kaf. And this particular passage is from Genesis 8, verse 9. Velo Masha Yonah, and the dove could not find. Okay, Velo, they could not. Masha wasn't able to find. Menuach, rest, a resting place, based on Noach, which is Noah, to rest, comfort. Okay, place to put their foot. Now take a look here. Yonah is the dove. We have to remember the dove went out twice. The first time out was this story here. Couldn't find a resting place. Then later on went out and didn't return. It did find apparently a resting place for her foot, for the palm of her foot. So and Jonah, of course, went out twice too. He went off to try to go off to Tarshish. Couldn't find rest. Was forcibly returned, and then he did go off to do what the Lord wanted of him, and hopefully that point found rest, although knowing Jonah's personality, he was irate about the whole thing. So Yonah, the Jonah, the dove, is the same word as we find the prophet Jonah, based on this word right here, the dove, who should be finding rest, but might have difficulty in that regard. Yonah, Manoach. Manoach, by the way, is also the name of the father of Samson. And it explains a little bit the story of Samson, because Samson, of course, was a judge and lived a very ruckus, very tough life fighting the Philistines. But the whole concept was that God was seeking rest for his people. And so Manoach, the rest, Mr. Rest, had a son named Samson, and the Lord was seeking rest for his people, although it was a difficult time for that. Lekaf, for the palm of the foot, here's reglecha of the foot. Reglecha is the foot of her foot, and for the foot of her, for the palm of her foot, Vetashav, and she returned. Eliav, back to him, that is back to Noah. El Teba, to the ark. Ki Maim, because the waters. Alfane, so the surface, the face. Kol Haaretz, of the whole earth. Yeshalah, and he sent out. This is the reference here. The reference here to sending out. This is Noah sending out Yado, okay, his hand. Okay, we've discovered also what Yad means here in the root meanings of Yad. So Yeshalah, Yado, Yekacheha, and he gathered her, captured her, or held her. Kach is to take hold of. Okay, Yekacheha, took hold of her. Yabe, and he caused her to come in. He brought her in, Otach, and he brought her, Elav, to him, El Ha-Teba, to the ark. So at this point, the Jonah found rest again at the ark, and so still had to depend on the ark for a while until the waters had gone down farther enough so that she could find rest for her. Later on, came back with a branch in her mouth showing that a tree was growing. So, and that's always been a symbol of peace even to this day. The dove with a green branch in her beak, symbolizing peace and finding rest on the earth. So, and this particular psalm, I studied this like a week or so ago, and it's Ahor Kedem Satarni Vetashet Ali Kafecha. Behind, Ahor, that's behind, towards the west. Kedem, towards the east. Shartani, you surround me, you encircle me. Sarat is to put a circle around. Tashet, and to place. Okay, Shet is set. Okay, and the word set here is right, same thing as in English. Basically the same word. Okay, set, and he placed. He set Ali on me, on top of me. Kafeha, the palm of your hand. And this is one of the most beautiful ways to understand kaf. You go through the Psalms, most of the times the kaf is something of people either hitting people with a kaf of the hand or applauding or something like this. This particular psalm is a very beautiful psalm in that the palm of the Lord's hand is upon us. He comforts us, he cares for us, just like the palm of the virtuous woman, a caring hand, one that sustains us, one that holds us, and the hand that certainly encircles us and gives us strength and protects us in the troubles of this world. So think of it, meditate on it, know that the Lord has his hand on you, and turn to him and ask also for his hand to be upon you and to protect you and care for you. And I pray that that is the reality of your life in this day. So God bless, and God have his hand upon you. Until the next time.